Now continuing coverage of the deadly airport mass shooting. The impact of what happened is being felt from delayed or canceled vacations to questions about airport safety in general. Every traveler we talked to today at the airport seemed to be thinking about Friday's violence.
It's on my mind in the sense that it happened just downstairs, and it's horrible to think about the people who lost their lives and the families affected.
To be cautious, to look around, to see some irregularities, if we can say that. Just be on alert.
The airport is reportedly back to 95% of normal operations.
Well, lawmakers are taking a new look at rules about guns on planes after Friday's shootings. Proposed gun safety legislation will be discussed tomorrow in Tallahassee. CBS 4's Carey is live at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport with more on that. Carey.
Rick, there are measures that will be discussed in Tallahassee when the legislature begins its session in March. And these measures were all brought up prior to Friday's shooting. A Republican measure would greatly expand where licensed gun owners can carry their weapons, including at places like airports like this one. Several Democratic measures would seek to ban assault weapons, high-capacity magazines, and also require greater background checks for potential gun owners. When Esteban Santiago opened fire inside the baggage claim at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport last week, it once again renewed the debate over gun laws. Democratic State Senator Gary Farmer from Broward filed several bills in Tallahassee prior to last Friday's shooting, requiring background checks on gun sales at gun shows and banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. He spoke to us over FaceTime from Tallahassee.
These are not weapons that are used to hunt or for any kind of sportsmanship. These are weapons that were designed for the military purpose of killing as many people in as little time as possible.
Farmer said his heart goes out to all the victims of Friday's shooting, and he wants to do what he can to eliminate these types of mass shootings in the future. He knows that Republicans have a wide majority in Tallahassee, but he's undeterred.
And I think people in both parties can see and understand the need for sensible gun safety legislation.
Right now, Florida is one of 6 states where people cannot carry guns in airports. A bill by Florida State Senator Greg Steube would change that. His bill would expand where licensed gun owners would be allowed to carry their weapons, including airports, elementary schools, and college campuses.
The law is only protecting criminals. It's not protecting law-abiding citizens who want the right and the ability to defend themselves.
Steube believes that if more people were armed, an attack like the one Friday might have ended much sooner. Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz disagrees.
I mean, that's a ludicrous suggestion. If someone with a gun in the baggage claim area opened fire in the midst of hundreds of people, the life loss probably would have been worse.
Republicans tried to pass the expanded open carry law last year during the legislative session. It did not pass. We will keep you posted on the progress of these bills when the legislative session begins in March. Live at the airport in Fort Lauderdale, Carey, CBS 4 News.
Thank you, Carey.